I'm doing it now.
Right, it's recording right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were doing a recording. That's better because we moving. It's
Right.
live.
I didn't
That's
want to
right.
do that.
Oh, okay.
You know, I respect.
Oh, give thanks. I really appreciate that.
You all right, Grill? You enjoying?
I'm all right.
Enjoying Detroit. Detroit always glad to have you
Yeah,
back.
I'm in the Truth bookstore. So
Yeah, the Truth
it's
bookstore.
better than being in the other bookstore.
Oh, check him out. Better be in the Hope House than the Dope House.
You're right about that, man.
Yeah, he's a beautiful guy. And he gets us wherever he goes. Personally, I'm a fan. You know, I like the person that keeps it real and he keeps it moving and he don't be trying to be fake, he be real. And I like how he bang the music and he bang that beat. He bangs with all his bass in the background.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, so this is my dude, holler at his fellow initiate, Professor Grill. Anything else you'd like to say? We love you.
Let me say, I don't know, man. If I had a chance to say anything before I went to the essence, there's a few things I'd like to say. I think it was Dr. Martin Luther King that said violence, when it comes to violence, you know, it's sometimes it's not a good thing, it's a bad thing, but sometimes it's necessary. You understand what I'm saying? That don't always mean physical violence. Sometimes we have to fight back intellectually. There's a spiritual battle going on all the time. And a lot of people are unaware there's a spiritual battle that's going on, but we got to take the fight to the enemy, especially the enemy itself. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's what we need to get across to people. Once we deal with those demons and those battles that rage inside the self and win, you know, we can do anything we want to do, man. So revolution is not an event, it's a process.
Check him out.
Right.
He said sometimes you have to stick the devil with his own pitchfork.
That's right.
Love you, man.
All right, love you too.
Hey, man.
All right.
Keep the lights
The
on.
D is my third home, man, so I'm here.
All right.
All right.
Love him, man.
All right, peace.
Elder, do I have your permission to speak?
Yes, you do.
That's our ancient Kushite. It's not a tradition, it's a mandatory. You don't speak unless your elders give you permission to speak. If the Western culture had got a tenth ounce of that, you wouldn't have the problems that you have today. Okay. Would be no need for the legal penitentiary systems. Again, my name is Marduk Maruk Bell. It's not important to anybody but my ancestors. And we were blessed today through Queen Lisette Haru. We have a fantastic guide for Southeast Michigan. That's how powerful this guide is. And we'll get into Queen Ma'at Seba, and we'll get into that before we get into our speaker. We want to give our mission statements and things of this nature. We first want to pour libations to our ancestors before I go another thought. And I'm blessed enough to have, you know, I've been all around like most of you have, and I've seen people do it in many ways, but I was blessed enough to have queens and kings that care about us, and they put this together. Queen said, Peru put this together, and it's the proper guide. And I'm going to read it. It says, note to the facilitator. I guess that's me. Or whatever cool measure. For each sentence, okay. We praise the creator of all, supreme, omnipotent, and in all things. When I say that, I would like you to say, Eshe or Ashe. Okay. We praise the creator of all, supreme, omnipotent, in all things. Ashe. Okay, use your quote. Yeah. It's okay. We praise all the high and virtuous spirits who have walked the way of eternal light and love. Ashe. We praise all of our ancestors from Mother Africa, Muata, who is the mother of the entire human race. We praise all of our ancestors from Mother Africa who were fortunately buried in its soil. We praise all of the spirits who died in the middle, to which we say never, ever again. Okay. We praise all of the deceased of our families whose names are known and unknown. Now let us take a moment of silence to give praise to our ancestors, beginning with our oldest known ancestor. A moment of silence, please. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Which means so be it, or thank you, or Shante, depends on what dialect you're using. Okay. I want to thank Queen Becerra for this. Thank you for your time and consideration. Moving right along quickly. I want to get out the way. I want to sit down and get out the way. Increase so our community can increase. This is the Medu Neter. This is where all of your religious systems come from. From the Medu Neter. Be the Torah, the Quran, which is Quran, or the Biblos, Bible, from the 12-word Bibli. And we're not telling you all this to baff you with our brilliance or buff you with our BS, but we're giving you the truth. Okay? And the religious systems are degraded because they have you looking on the outside when things come from the inside. And they don't give you the skills to even apply it. All the books that you read, whether it's the Torah, Quran, or the Bible, it's all coded. We call it exoteric information. That means it's for non-initiates. Look in the American Heritage Dictionary, and they'll tell you what the word exoteric means and esoteric. Those are myths. No, it has a deeper meaning. Those are African terms. Okay? And that's why I passed that out to everyone. Hopefully everyone's got one with the African names. You guys see that on your left? Where all the European names come from. All from African names. They all come from us. Did I give you one? Okay. Could you pass it? Okay. You got it. Okay. And this is straight out of Ghana. It tells you, if you're born on Friday, your name's Kofi. Born on Saturday, your name is Kwame. For the male, if you're born on Sunday, it's Kwazi. If you're born on Thursday, it's Yah or Yah. If you're female, it's Yah. That's where the word Yahweh comes from. Yahweh. Okay, first transcendence. Wah means first. Wah-men means first man. Wah-men. So, Wah. That's the ancient Christianity word for one. So we're not going to play. We're going to take you to Mama. We're taking you to Mama's house. You can stop at the third cousin, second cousin. You can stop at the first cousin. But we are blessed today where you can go straight to Mama's house. Mute, the land of Mute. You out there. You go straight to Mama's house. Okay? And they're all cousins. It's the one over many, the many are one. And we don't care about your dialect, but you can come straight into Mama's house. You're going to learn what the terms Chris means, Karesh. You're going to learn what Islam really means, in self-lawed mathematics, ourselves, Lord and Master. Ancient dialect out of Kenya, Arabic, which comes out of Mudar, which is the Medu Neter. That dialect, they add an R to it, it's the Mudar. Moab, that's the Medu Neter. You'll learn, and you'll learn what Judaism really is. That's Tehuti, divine intellect. All one spirituality, all about raising the energy in the back, which Revelation 5:1 points to precisely. Okay? No more games to exploit our culture. No more games. Does anyone else need the names out of God?
I think you got the second page.
Okay. Anyone else need the names? Yeah, thank you so much. Is everyone signed in? Who has not signed it? Raise your hand. That would be keep communication going. I'll be through another 2-3 minutes. Anyone else need one? So we can move right along and go with the communication. Okay. Okay. About 2 more minutes and I can sit down. And Sister telling me to sit down and get out of the way so I can do this. Okay, now I've got what I have here is quickly. I have child support issues and you. They're having a meeting. Judge Deborah Thomas, Third Circuit Court. If you was anything like me back in the day, I don't want to hear that. You know. Friend of the court, Attorney Brenda Hope Springs, felony non-support, Judge Wade McCree. No, I said I definitely won't be at that. And that's after I had 1 year of law school, Detroit College of BCL. You know, but I was going to be consistent, true soldier record, with no knowledge. Way back 25. But my point is, they're meeting Thursday. You don't have to deal with them. They're meeting Thursday, May 3rd, at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Metropolitan Elks Lodge. I don't think that's Prince Hall, Benjamin Banneker. 32. They believe it is about 33, so I ain't gonna do some. There are people that are trying to grow, but they're caught up in the system and directly supporting the National Monetary Fund. 50 East Manchester. Everybody know that's at Highland Park. It says donation $5, so that means it's optional. Does anyone need that to be written down?
What is it?
But you don't do it. It's Child Voices Not Heard in Michigan. Rainbow Push Detroit. Oh,
Rainbow Push Detroit?
yeah. I guess this message, Jesse. First Thursday, Meet and Greet presents child support issues in youth. So it don't hurt to attend. Anybody that's having issues, okay? I guess it's for men and women. Friend of the court, that's who'll be there, felony non-support. But you just go sit down and see what you have to say.
I just wanted to say, be careful going to those things.
Right.
If they charge you with back child support,
Right.
they will check the record and you may be arrested there.
Mm-hmm. My point is, that's why I said just go in. Just like when you go out, we have an organization that's anti-substance abuse. And we always tell people when you go into the Monica House right off of Illinois, if you have any pending felonies, don't sign your name, anything like that. Okay? Because that place might become your home group. You follow me? Okay. So we let them know. Same thing. Because it can be a sting operation, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. That's the order. Okay. Moving right along. Here's some hymns to Rob. Our Minister of Information, which is Shawnee, she got the Great Detroit giveaway. She gave out the first part one last week. Great Detroit giveaway. Yeah, good. Okay, Great Detroit giveaway. She's our current Minister of Information. We also have, we're blessed to have one of our chief researchers here, Mark. Good seeing you. Mark, okay, Detroit giveaway. I gave Sanjay one. Okay, one. Everybody else? Detroit giveaway? Okay. Anybody else need one? Great Detroit giveaway? Okay. This is our literature table. Okay. Anybody? And we're going to move on. Okay, we got the 42 Declarations of Truth. This is where the Ten Commandments come out. This is the original, in the original tongue, and it's translated. Okay, that's where the Ten Commandments come from. From Moses, who is Amonhotep IV, Akhenaten. Your name is Odi Henin from the Dinchira tribe of Africa. Okay?
Wait, say that again?
His name is Odi Henin from the Dinchira tribe of Africa. Dinchira. Right. We'll do a presentation on it. We did Moses part 1 and part 2. Moses means Musa, mother's son. Musa. And Sinjay gonna tell you, and Queen Ma'at, They'll tell you, Musa is mother's son, means rightful heir. Comes from mute, mother. And guess what word comes out of that? Musa. From mute. Mason. Okay. He took the U, right. All right. Mother's son, rightful heir. But in Africa, we say Mazan. That's what the word Amazon, and we say Mazan. I'm wrong. Okay. So if a person talks to you, blah, 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 just listen to him. Be humble. And say, well, it's nice to meet you. Because we're all, see, what I know, there's some things I know, some things I don't know. We're all ignorant about different things. That's why a doctor, medical doctor, goes to a lawyer. That's why both of them have to go to a mechanic, get their car fixed. Okay. So you put that collective, but see, in the motherland, we already knew that. We have, the peanut lets us know that already. That's why we're humble. We try to stay humble. But, you know, you really get heavy. They drop the line. Just don't be egotistical. You say, pardon? A lot of you wrong? Okay. You tell them you're out of Waset, you're a Mazan, they look at you. Say, right, man? Then the Amazon will come to their mind and they say all kind of, oh man, I don't. Right. Okay. See, that's why you want to come to Mama's house. Okay? And we're just blessed enough. There's some people here that put all this together. I'll tell you that. Anybody need more of this? The original version? Or the Fortitude? Declaration of Truth? Okay. Our mission statement. We have the. Almost done. Shut up so I can grow up. Like the answers. We have the tree of life. Pa means to exist. That's where Father comes from. Nature, where the word nature comes from, the divine nature. We have that, the tree of life, in Arabic called Kabbalah, but we have the original. See, but how can you talk about the Kabbalah if you don't know where the word Ka comes and say Ka and Ba and La come from? How can you even talk about that? Keep. But they try to. Okay, right. Anyone else need this? Okay, right. Pass it. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Enough of that. Okay. Enough. There's a hymn to Ra. Pass a couple of hymns out to Ra. That's all I have left. Okay. Pass them on. You give one to the elder first, yeah. Now here's our mission statement. They would have our mission statement. We're going to read it right quickly. Then we start. She's going to have it. Our mission statement. Dedicate the truth. Good seeing you, Isabel. Good seeing you. Okay. Mission statement. Okay. Yeah. It's collected body of knowledge, so nobody on that. Right. Okay. All right, enough. I'm tired of talking. I'm serious, I'm tired of talking. Okay, I want to welcome all the newer people to the Temple of Knowledge. And we've done our prayer, thanks to Queen Zeta Rule. And Dr. Rama, would you, or any of the Queen, it doesn't matter, who would like to read the mission statement? Doesn't matter. Okay.
The truth.
You come up here. The reason why I have you do that.
The truth. The spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial, and governmental, political enslavement of Black African people globally is predicated on keeping the Black root chapter of Black Cushite Kemet, the original indigenous Black Egyptians, Ethiopians, Sudanese, and all Black Africans, who are all descendants of the Black Twa, from the valley of the mountains of the moon, the original Garden of Eden, closed. On the other hand, the successful proliferated pro-life preservation, global European white racism is predicated on protecting the historic European lives, that are fraudulently formulated out of our diabolical, deliberately disseminated, destroyed Black Kushite Kemet African history. Be that the case, it became apparent to me that if Black African people globally really want to break the mental shackles of systematic white European enslavement, they would first have to understand their Black root identity, and then be prepared to promote and defeat it by any defend it by any and all means necessary. That means whoever, whatever, whenever, wherever. The very lives of the children of our global Black culture depend on it. They are all we've got. They're everything. The future. Haru Aket, Haru Ra, the sun rising on the eastern horizon. Marduk, Maru Bear.
Okay, thank you for our mission statement. Okay. And right quickly, don't ever get in a discussion with anyone that wants to play word games. Okay? Don't let anyone play any, that's a sock. That's a sock. Don't let anyone play any word games with you. Okay? Because when you go back at least 400,000-500,000 years, that whole area, the Red Sea wasn't even there. That whole area. Okay. From Mount Rawenzuri, the mountains of the moon, rise above the clouds. Almost, what is it, about 70,000 feet, not quite as tall. Mount Kilimanjaro is further down, but the Mount Rawenzuri, they're right above the clouds, the water came out of the clouds. So don't ever get in that kind of a word game with anyone. Okay? We got the evidence. Okay? We don't have to say, show me your pyramids. Okay? So we don't want to get into that. All right. So I'm going to shut up so I can grow. We're blessed tonight to have a fantastic speaker. And this person for the last 30, 40, 50, as long as I'm in Detroit, they always gave me the inside information like how the state would help save Detroit. Right. Like they took the millions from our Board of Education. Okay? And they doubled their salary. Who was the governor that doubled his salary when he was in? Republican, the left England. He doubled his salary like Nixon did. And they had the monetary fund down. Masons. Scotty Wright. First thing I'm going to do is get that money. I'm going to double my salary. All right? I defy. I'm not natural from the sun, so I'm unnatural. And this, we preach love, we preach with love, not hate. And we come in truth. But if you're not natural and you defy the sun, there's no wonder the earth has been raped in the last 50 years. Okay? There's no wonder. Okay? And this latest one came out Tuesday, April 24th. Bing's budget slashes 2,500 jobs. Right? Okay? By the way, Dave Bing is a Mason. So is the pastor, which comes from the Greek word pastor right, which comes from Pasu, out of command. That medicinal lodge. That's where the term comes from. He's also a Mason. This is the Detroit native son, who I'm about to introduce to some and announce to others. She has an article in here, Queen Ma'at Seba, uterine fibroids. This is who he's speaking tonight. So that's how she's a healer spiritually, mentally, because I've sent women initiates to her to talk to her. And she's helped them tremendously. And physically, which she's going to get to that. She deals at all three levels. She's bringing it to the community. She don't talk it, and she has own business. She gave us the Kemetic calendar for the Temple of Knowledge. Very unselfish person. Takes the message to those locked up in prisons. This is the metal nectar for silent time. Harriet Tubman would say, and she's with us right now in spirit. The energy is eternal. That's why we don't worship our ancestors. We honor them. Don't let the Europeans lie to you. Gods and goddesses, that's a lie. They're cosmic forces. Quit letting the white man tell you what this means. You learn it and you go find out. They're cosmic forces, the same thing they teach in science class. Only we come spiritually. Without the spirit, there is no science. It's a body with no energy. Okay? So, get the truth. But she's an embodiment. Harriet Tubman was in the condensed energy form today, because her spirit is with us. She would say, this woman, first man, everything that I did, it was worth it. just to know that she would be here in a condensed energy form today. That's how inspirational she is. Okay. I'm again introduced to some and announced to others. None other than Queen Ma'at Seba. Let's give her a Black Universe hand.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I know some of these faces in here. And as I said, my name is Ma'at Seba. That is not my birth name. It was spiritually given to me. Ma'at, for those that don't know, is the goddess of truth, balance, justice, harmony, reciprocity, right order, and universal law. Seba means teacher, or one who teaches. So we put all that together. To give a little background, as I said, the name was spiritually given to me. And we have a family-owned health food store in Detroit on 7 Mile. For those, I know some faces have been there. We're at 7 Mile, 1 block east of Greenfield. It's called Loving Life Health Food. Now, previous to that, we owned Mama's Country Kitchen, for those old enough to remember Mama's Country Kitchen, right next door. So we've been in business, family businesses, all my life. It's interesting how we went from serving unhealthy food, and the universe put us in a situation and we made the transition to bringing health. So that's been kind of interesting. But to digress a little bit, outside of the store, I do relationship workshops, which I have a couple of students here that took a shorter version of the class. And as Brother Marduk said, I used to give the relationship classes at Mound Correctional Facility to the men before they shut Mound down a couple of months ago. It was probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life, to connect with those brothers. And one of the most hurtful too, to walk up in there and see a sea of our men, all ages, locked up, and some of them no hope. But it was an awesome learning experience for me. And they had touched my life in ways that, I'm abundantly blessed to have been able to meet them. And we still communicate via mail because that's all we can do. But, to be able to connect with people on a level of love like that we don't do anymore as people, not looking at what they did that put them there, but who they are. Because I defy anybody, any adult in this room that can honestly say that they have never done anything that would not land them in jail. So who are we to judge? They just got caught, we did. So I give the relationship workshops. I am a healer. I do, I'm a Reiki master, and I do several forms of energy healing therapies. I'm a writer. I've got a couple of articles, which I'll pass these out. I do 2 articles in the Native Sun, one on health and one on spirituality every month, which these are available at the store. So, and our article, our ad is right here on this side too as well. That's the good thing. Finish passing this on. As I said, it is family. Our health food store is family owned. That's my son there. He works along with me. I was asked to come today, and I'm grateful for you all to have me and be open and receptive to the information I'm going to share today. Some of it's going to be a little bit far-ended, that some of you might not really get it or understand it, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Now, when it comes to healing is something that is a spiritual issue first. They talk about mind, body, and spirit, and that is not the order that it goes in. It is spirit, mind, and body, in that order. When you have a health challenge, it is because there is some kind of a spiritual issue that you did not address, couldn't, didn't, wouldn't. And when you do not address it on that level, then it goes down to the next level, which is the mental and emotional level. If you don't address it then the universe gives you a tap on the shoulder and something physically is going to go wrong with you. It is not a physical issue. So when people come in the store, they come for whatever it is, whatever health challenges it is that they're having. But we already know that that's not the issue. Some people we can be open with and ask, take it to the next level and find out what's really going on. And some people we can't. For those that are open, we start to ask them questions. I have a book. This book is what we call our spiritual Bible. And this book is called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. For those who are open after I get finished talking, I highly suggest that you get this book. This deals with spiritual issues that are manifested physically. And so it goes into different health challenges that people have, and it tells you the spiritual issue as to why you got that challenge. Now it's up to you if you want to do something to resolve it or not. Also, the other thing we do is we know that the human body is an electromagnetic entity. The left side of the body is feminine, the right side of the body is masculine. So if somebody comes in there, let's say for instance they fell down the stairs and they chipped their knee on the left side. Okay, so from
the right side of the body is masculine.
The right side is masculine,
okay,
and the left side is feminine. For the purposes that we're talking about right now. Okay, so let's say we're going to look up knee. Knee represents pride and ego. Okay? So people think that when they have an accident, that it's an accident. There's no such thing as an accident. Even when you get into a physical accident with a car, it is a spiritual issue that has not been dealt with, and it's always anger-based. Okay, so it represents pride and ego. It's on the left side of the body. If you are a woman, then you need to look at issues dealing with pride and ego. If you are a man, then you need to look at issues with pride and ego that have to do with a woman somewhere around you in your life, your mother, sister, daughter, wife, or the feminine aspect of yourself. Because we are masculine and feminine. Has nothing to do with sexuality. There's polarities in everything in life. All energy is one energy, but it's polarities of the same energy. So we are masculine and we are feminine.
Right.
So I am in a physical body, but I have masculine energy in me and I have feminine energy manifested as a female in physical form. So sometimes pride and ego is a masculine energy. So let's say, for instance, you fell and you chipped your knee, and it's a woman. So it's on the left side of the body. So she needs to look at issues with pride and ego. And it could be her. The issue could be around her. Where, say, for instance, she's at a job and they want her to do something that she feels she's smarter than that to do. Okay? So her ego won't let her do this particular thing that the job wants her to do. Because she feels she's better now, smarter now. I want to, this is ridiculous. That's her ego and that's pride. So she falls and chips her knee. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how this goes. I'm going to pass the book around. You can take a look at it for some of the health challenges that you have or people that you know that have health challenges. And we have not, out of all the years we've been using this, it hasn't proved wrong yet.
The left side is masculine?
Left side is feminine, and the right side is masculine. Now,
is there a spiritual and physical side to your body?
Side is the word I'm having a problem with.
Well, you said the left side was
it's feminine. Yeah, in terms of spiritual issues.
Okay.
Yeah. And it manifests in the physical body. It manifests physically. If it's, let's say, for instance, the whole issue with the job that the woman has. If she's not dealing with her ego as far as this job is concerned, this is why it manifests physically. Because spirit will tap you on the shoulder about things. And to say, you should just let it go. Just go on and do what they ask you to do. It's not worth it. It ain't that deep. Okay? So you didn't deal with it. You didn't address it. So now something's going to happen physically to get your attention. You out of order. You out of balance.
Excuse me. Could we, any questions, comments, or observations, could we write them down on a piece of paper? And I promise you, we'll stop at maybe 10 to 7 and address every one comprehensively, deeply. That way, the information that she has, she can get it out there to you. Because everybody here is at different levels. Just, you follow me? So anything you have, just write it down, and we'll address it.
Okay, thank you.
That would work.
Now, as far as the right side and the left side of the body, as far as the brain is concerned, the right side controls the left side of the body, and the left side controls the right side of the body. Now, he was talking about the Kundalini earlier, and for those who are not familiar with Kundalini, raise your hand, let me know. So, okay. Kundalini is...
You can raise that.
The Kundalini is...
You need the whole board? I can turn around and read the whole board.
I don't need all of this, but I'm not an artist, so. The Kundalini is an energy force. Not detectable if somebody cut you up and they're not going to see it. And it channels itself through two systems. One is called the Ida, and one is called the Pingala. And it starts at the base of the spine, and then it goes up literally just like a serpent. Is that all right?
Close enough.
Why is this not looking right to me? Okay, we're going to do it like this. All right. There you go. We're just going to imagine that this is zigzagging.
Right.
Okay, so it goes like that. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so the Ida and the Pingala, I believe the feminine side is the Ida,
right,
and the masculine side is the Pingala.
Right.
The spinal cord, the energy goes up the spinal cord, and that's called the Sushumna. So when the Kundalini energy goes up your spine, it literally goes up like a snake. And if you've ever had the experience before, it's not pleasant, but it is extremely powerful. The energy shoots up your spine literally like a snake, and then it comes out through the third eye. So you'll see pictures of the pharaohs and things that have the snake coming out. Okay, that's what that's representative of Kundalini energy. And when it comes to Egypt and the different depictions that you see in Egypt, it's all about spirituality and consciousness. That's what they're trying to get us to understand. So the Kundalini is just one aspect. At each one of these intersecting points is what they call chakra systems, which are this is another energy system that is not visible to the human eye. These are chakras. Now, I'm going to deal with the chakras a little bit later. The chakras are responsible for the energy that comes through the universe that we are not even conscious of. And it goes in through these energy points. Okay. Now, when it comes to healing and spirituality, that whole connection, they're all one and the same. People are more concerned about their physical body, when the most important thing is actually your spiritual body. That's more important. Because these subtle energies, as they come into the universe and all these emotions and things that we have, they affect our bodies, our energy bodies, which are called auras. people who have enough spiritual insight, or you can actually train yourself to see it, they can see these auras around people's bodies. Now, the auras have different colors to them based upon the mindset of consciousness that you have at the time. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the dark line here, so we're talking about your actual physical body, okay? The dark line here is your first aura. That is the ethereal. Your ethereal. Okay? The next one, I don't know if you can see this. It extends out probably 6 inches and beyond. That's the emotional body. This next one extends beyond the emotional body, and that's called the mental body. And then the spiritual body is all of this around the rest of that area, infinitum. That extends out into everything, all creation, all the planets, everything. So for people to think that we're not connected, you are connected. That's how you can sense a loved one or something going on. You might not be able to put your finger on it, but you feel something's not right. It's going through these auras. You're picking it up spiritually. You might not be able to define it, but there's something going on. Now, some years ago, I took a aura picture. They have a special made camera called Curlin's Photography. And I did an aura picture. And at that moment, this is what my aura looked like. My hands are kind of like green and purple, and the left hand is white. And then all of the different colors on the outside. I'll pass this around. And this company does a bit of a definition on the back. So this is a real thing, whether you realize it or not. Everything that exists has an aura.
The wings, right?
Everything. Rocks, birds, plants, grass, everything has an aura. Everything has an energy field. We have one as well. Now, we are all connected to each other, whether we like it or not, whether you know it or not. I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment that before I do that, let me read this. The ethereal aura. Now, the ethereal aura is approximately maybe an inch above your skin. The ethereal vibrates at the lowest frequency and is the same shape and dimension of the physical body and lies just above the skin. The ethereal body draws energy from the sun and the earth, channels it through the chakras and the nadis into the physical body. Negative thoughts and emotions weaken the ethereal life force, causing weak auras or tears in the ethereal aura, because the ethereal and the physical body react strongly to thought energy. This leak of vital energy will lead to illness if it's not addressed. The ethereal body changes colors according to the thoughts, emotions, and health of the person. Strengthening the ethereal body can come from positive and loving thoughts, as well as from nature, especially from flowers, plants, and trees. Now, the ethereal body, like I said, it might be a little out there for some of you guys. When we go to sleep at night, whether people realize it or not, you leave your body. Because you are not your body. You are a spirit in this vehicle here, in this car. When you go to sleep at night, you leave and you go all over the place. Some people have seen people who are not even there physically, but they're seeing their spirit, their spiritual body. So you actually are in more places at one time. And this has been documented. So it looks exactly like you look. Exactly. So when you hear things like that, it ain't all hokey pokey. It is real. Scientifically, for those that need to prove it, it is scientifically proven. Okay, the emotional body, or the astral body, is the energy field which holds our emotions, feelings, fear, character traits, anger, depression, and worry. For those sensitive enough to see it, it is oval and can extend up to several yards out and around the person and emanates different colors. Negative emotions such as hatred, jealousy, fear, guilt, depression, etc. will cause dark clouds. In contrast, emotions like love, devotion, non-judgment, and peace will look like a bright glowing colors. In the emotional body, the thought vibrations that we emit attract the matching vibrations or thoughts of other people. Like attracts like. Birds of a feather flock together. That is why people who unconsciously attract the same people or circumstances that they want to avoid or of what they fear. Some people say, you always magnetize to you what you fear. You magnetize to you what you want, but you also magnetize to you what you don't want. Because thoughts are a magnetizing force. You put the thought out there, it comes back.
Careful what you ask for.
Because you're more than likely going to get it.
Cause and effect.
Exactly. Unresolved emotional problems will be stored in the emotional body, constantly resurfacing until they are resolved, even from one incarnation or lifetime into another. Learning to forgive others as well as yourself, loving yourself and others, and living without judging others' lives as well as our own will cause the emotional body to grow brightly, raising its vibration to its highest frequency. The mental body extends out past the emotional body. This energy body vibrates higher than the ethereal and emotional bodies and is generally oval in shape. As a person elevates in consciousness, the mental body will extend out several yards past the emotional body. All thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions at the physical level are transmitted to the ethereal body, which transmits them to the astral or emotional body. The emotional body translates the thoughts and emotions, which are then transmitted to the mental body. The mental body is meant to take universal truths from the spiritual body and integrate them with the mind. And in turn, through intuition, epiphanies, or visions, one will be able to harmoniously resolve problems in life. And then the last one is the spiritual body, as the highest in vibration of all the energy bodies. And if a person is awakened or highly spiritually elevated, the spiritual aura can extend for miles. The enlightened person vibration is so high that it raises the vibration of all those around them, causing them to feel peaceful. The spiritual body is the one most directly connected and affected by other people's energy fields, which is why they might be energetically and or emotionally affected during a disaster involving groups of people. They also are connected and affected to the energy emanations and vibrational frequencies of other planets. Now, there are some people that their frequency is so high naturally, or they have done some inner work to become so spiritually enlightened that their aura extends out so far. They can either detect when something's going to happen, or, and I mean like earthquakes and things like that, or it physically affects them. Also, for people that have children, I want you to be very aware of this. Children are our babies, all children, but especially our babies, melanated children, are so spiritually awake. They're so smart. They're coming out with their eyes open and dang near talking. Acting grown, that's what we call it. It is not unusual, and we get this in the store all of the time. It is not unusual for a child to be so spiritually sensitive. It's called being empathic, which I am. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but I'm empathic. What that means is that you are so spiritually in tune and emotionally in tune to people. I feel their stuff. If somebody's standing behind me, they have had it, I get to have it. The children, some of them are so in tune, and as a parent, you got to be careful because we think they're just acting out, and they're not. That they're so in tune, they pick up everybody's stuff. They don't like arguing, they don't like fussing. They might only want to eat certain foods. It can make them sick, literally sick. if the energy around them is not right. And they'll be fussed at, they'll be chastised, and the parents don't understand what's really going on. This is a spiritual issue that these children are having. So we need to educate ourselves about what's going on to help these babies. Now, there was a young man came in the store. He probably was, I don't know, maybe 8. His dad brought him in, and crippled with pain in the stomach. Took him to the hospital, could never find anything. That's another thing. They never find anything. It's not physical. So, back and forth, getting all these tests run, took him to the doctor, took him to the hospital, nobody could ever find anything. But the child obviously was critically sick. So I asked the father, I said, what's going on in the home? I said, is there any argument between you and his mom? And he was like, no, we don't argue. And I'm thinking, okay, come on now. And he said, no more than anybody else, but your perception of arguing might be different than a child's. Because children internalize everything, and they're thinking as soon as our parents have an argument, they're going to break up. Is our family going to break up? And it's my fault. They internalize everything, which is what was happening in this case. So I started questioning the father. Come to find out, the mother and him were getting into it. And I said, your son is being physically affected by this. So if y'all got something to work out, you go outside, sit in the car. Don't do it around him because it's physically affecting him, literally making him sick. So he did acknowledge it, and I don't remember when I think he might have came back one more time, but he did acknowledge that there's got to be something to this. So for those that have children or around children, grandchildren or whatever, just be aware that this is what's going on, and it's going to magnify. Okay? Love on them, listen to them, because when you're a certain age, we were raised that children are to be seen and not heard. But things are changed. Children are to be heard. They're brilliant. They're geniuses. They walk in ancestors, and they have answers to some of the problems that we have. If we just shut up, listen to them, stop looking at them. They just short, that's all. That's all they are. It's a grown person squashed up in this little body. Talk to them and see what's on their mind. And listen to what they say to you. It'll probably blow you away. So that just came to me, so I just said it. But, okay, back to the auras. Now, if you maintain a mindset that is too negative for too long, you damage your aura. You can even tear it. It could be tears and holes and things in it. When that happens, that's how the body becomes sick, because your spiritual body is actually your protection. Everything is about here. Everything. And this is what we have to work on. So, what I'm going to do, I do this experiment sometimes when I go and speak.
Need some assistance?
And I need a volunteer. Does it? Not okay. Now, nope. I'll do you when I finish it. Okay, now, what I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to check and see, I'm going to check your chakras, and I'm going to check and see how far your aura extends. Now I'm not going to be fully effective because this room is not big enough. But you will get the gist of what I'm talking about. Now, we talk about the auras, right? How far they extend outside of the body. We're talking about mind and consciousness. Your thoughts affect your auras. If you think negative, your auras will shrink. Shrivel up. If you're thinking positive, your aura will expand. I don't understand and don't believe that thoughts are things. This kind of is a visual to help them out. To really hit home that this is a real thing. This is called a pendulum. It's not hokey pokey. It is a form of dowsing that they use to find water and all kinds of stuff. It's an ancient form of detecting energy. This particular one is a carnelian. They got all different kind of pendulums for every price range, from $6 up to hundreds of dollars. That's not that off iron relative, because I have used somebody's hair weave and a paper clip. I've used a fishing, what do you call that thing? The fishing weight, the fishing weight thing, and a shoestring. So it's not the thing per se. Well, the most important is that this is heavier than whatever it holds. Now, I use the pendulums in healing to detect a person's energy field to let me know whether their energy is balanced or not, because it cuts down on time. I can find out with my hand, but this cuts down on time for me. I go directly to where the issue is rather than me finding it with my hand, or just possibly an intuitive sometimes. So what I'm going to do is, in the space you are now, I'm going to see how far your aura extends. Now, the way the pendulum works is that, for me, this is only gives you yes or no answers. Okay? This is not to be played with. It's for sacred purposes. It's not to be played with. You shouldn't be using it saying, you know, did my boyfriend cheat on me? So you're not going to get a proper answer if you do it like that. It should be only used for the highest purposes. So that's why I use it in healing. For me, if a yes answer spins, a no answer goes back and forth. Maybe or no answer at all, it will just stop dead. Okay? Now the thing with the pendulum, because everything is mine, I can make this do whatever I want it to do. So you have to keep that in mind. And that's why I say you don't go asking, well, you know, did my boyfriend cheat on me? Because it's probably going to give you something that's not accurate in the first place. So be righteous when you use righteous spiritual tools. Okay. The speed of the swing of the pendulum determines certain things in terms of frequency and that type of thing. Depending on what I'm doing with it, determines the speed of it. So, what I'm going to do, you okay, Robin?
Fine.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check his aura and his emotional aura. And the pendulum is going to swing to the degree of how fast his aura is vibrating right now. Right now. Because when you change your thoughts, your frequency changes. Okay? So, maybe for the purposes of, there's no good way about this. Maybe stand over here. I'm trying to get as much distance as I can. Okay, just stand as close to here as you can. Face that way. Too late. Okay. Now, just to show you, I just say, show me a yes. And in my mind, I tell it to stop. Show me a no. Okay. Now, I've had this put up for a minute, so I should have cleaned it up before. Okay, so I want to know, I'm going to show how the frequency of his aura right now, which is very strong. See the swing of it. This is going to take me all the way out past the wall. So that's why I need, if I had a room with more space or down in the hall, you could see. Right. Okay, you naturally have a strong aura because we ain't been talking about nothing. It's vibrating very strongly, so you have a very strong energy to you. You probably already know that. Okay, now I want you to think about something positive, enlightening, something that really makes you feel good, really makes you feel happy, and then let me know. You there? Now, I want you to think about something that might not make you so happy or a painful thought or something. Maybe something that grieves you or just something that's not positive.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. You see how his vibration has slowed down. can't leave you there, so think about something uplifting and loving. Ready? It's not as high as it was, but keep thinking that. Okay, now I need you to step out the room for a second. Hold some type of negative thought in your mind about it. It could be whatever. You can talk about what he got on. Just don't make any difference. Just something negative, okay? Don't say anything. Just, you have to look at him. But just hold that energy when he walks in the room. Don't say anything. Okay. Can you ask me something? Then we'll test your aura again. Ready? Ooh, didn't make it too long. Okay, you can step back out. Just 1 second. Okay, now do the exact opposite. Send them positive, loving, uplifting thoughts. Real strong. Because see, we put him in a negative space. Now we need to build him back up. You don't leave people like that. So as much love as you can shine on them, shine. Okay, that's what last time. Ready? You guys see that? What I did when you stepped out, I asked him to think something negative about you. Because even though we're not aware of what people are thinking about us, it affects us. And when I asked you to step out the second time, I asked him to say you love something positive. When I did the pendulum, when we did the negative thing, your vibration had significantly dropped. So when I did it this time, we picked it back up. I don't know if did you feel anything when you came back the first time?
I felt, it's kind of hard to say, because I try to stay on a level base. I try not to deal with, I don't see negative and positives the way I've been taught to see them. It's like he said, and I found out many times, energy is needed. There's no evil and there's no good. It's just energy. It's like water, it's not good or bad.
He's an issue.
But it can hurt you if you overdo things.
It does. Negativity affects us all.
Right.
You know, and that's why we have to be very careful. You have to see. Thank you.
Let's give it over your hand. Good on the temple, y'all. Thank you.
We have to be real conscious of what we're thinking, and especially to the children. Because if you think they don't know what you're saying or thinking about them, they do. Just like if you remember to your parents. If they felt a certain way about you, you knew it, but you heard them say it. They know it too, and it's damaging. And we have to be very conscious and very aware of what we're thinking. Now, not only thinking negative stuff about other people, but negative stuff about ourselves. Same thing. Drops your frequency. You could possibly damage your aura, opening up the door for illness, disease, injury, all types of things.
Ulcers, strokes, and heart attacks.
Anything. So, and you can look in the book about strokes and things like that. So that was just a visual to let you know that this is not a game. You know, we have to be responsible for what we're thinking.
Once you damage the aura, how can you repair it?
Thinking positive. Positive thoughts and eating high frequency foods. Glad you brought that up. You can build your physical temple up and your spiritual temple by eating high frequency foods. From life comes life. So that means fruits and vegetables, raw. Whatever it is in its more natural state, fruits and vegetables, raw is optimum. If you need to cook it, then the next level will be steamed. And after that, if you're going to cook it, don't kill it, because you don't want to kill the enzymes in it. Because from life comes life for the meat eaters, you're eating death. And some people say, I'm a meat eater. And I say, I challenge you. And I more say, you don't want the meat, you want the flavor. Because if I fixed you a piece of chicken, a steak, and 3 rib bones, and I put anything on it, no salt, no nothing, would you eat it? So you're not a meat eater. You want the flavor.
That's right.
Okay, so this is a certain mindset we got to change. And we were raised to do a certain thing. But understanding that all of this affects you, your aura and everything affects your temple when you're not eating high frequency stuff. The highest frequency foods, the most powerful ones are your green foods. That is your wheatgrass, spirulina, barley grass, chlorophyll, chlorella, alfalfa, those green foods. Those are actually moringa. Those are actually survival foods. So just think about it next time, you get ready to pick up a steak or something like that. From life comes life. The other thing to be conscious of is really anything that's been processed. Because when we were coming up, I ain't going to tell my age, but when we were coming up, going out to dinner meant going over your grandmother's house. Okay. Maybe your auntie or something. You didn't go to dinner unless you were out of town, and you had no option. We didn't do fast food, only maybe if there was a death, and nobody could get anything to cook. It's too much commotion going on. I don't remember going out to eat anywhere. Now, I mean, not Easter or all these little holidays and stuff like that. I don't remember any of that. No, yeah. We either ate at home or went over our grandmother's house to eat. That was going out to dinner. That's right. We ate food. Real food. Not nothing in a can, not nothing in a box. But now we're eating all this processed stuff. And people with diabetes is out the roof. They got cancer. Hospitals, they have wings in the hospitals for dialysis, for knee replacement, organ replacement. There's something wrong with that. Just within the last 50 years. I never saw an obese person coming up. Maybe one, maybe two. Never people on dialysis. The people that were on dialysis were like 70, 80, getting ready to, sick already, probably getting ready to pass anyway. They had one room for dialysis, not a whole wing for dialysis.
Now they have them on every corner.
Every corner, like CBS.
Exactly. In strip malls. We did not drink pop. The only pop that we would drink is Verner's, and that was when you would get sick, because Verner's had real ginger in it at the time. It was called ginger ale. You won't even find the word ginger ale on the label. I think Canada Dry, and Town something or another. I don't even know if they're still in existence. They had real ginger ale. If it says ginger ale, get it. If you want to drink some pop. Pops typically contain, and this is for the small size bottle, like that little water bottle, approximately 16 teaspoons of sugar to each bottle. I did some research and it says that 1 teaspoon of sugar will suppress your immune system for 1 hour. So now if you're drinking 16 teaspoons in that little one, and you go to these fast food places and now you only got the big gulp, and people are drinking dang near half a gallon of pop with their meal now. So you have to watch out for the fat, because nothing that you buy out processed is any good. None of it. Not the salads, the salad mix. It's the lesser of the evils. But that's one of the dirtiest things that you'll find out. That's one of the dirtiest things that you can eat is that bag lettuce mix. It's full of chemicals and preservatives. When we were coming up, a head of lettuce will start rotting in 3 days. Bread start molding 5 days. Your jelly starts molding because it was real. And then the last thing you want to do is spill some sugar on the floor because you get ants everywhere in about an hour. Come out of nowhere. Ants everywhere. A customer came in and told me about this experiment that he did. And I was over my mom's house one day and I decided I would try this. He said this sugar that people are eating now is not real sugar. It's white and it's sweet, but it ain't real. So he said you put some sugar outside and an ant won't touch it. So I was over my mom's house one day and I went in her cabinet. She had those little packs of that domino sugar thing. And she had some fructose and she had some raw honey. So I took the pack and I took the fructose out there and I took some raw honey outside. And she got a lot of ants, in the cracks in her sidewalk. So I put the domino sugar, I made a circle right at their, the little mound. I put the fructose behind that and I put the honey behind that. So to get the honey, they really have to walk over there and get it. To get the fructose, the domino sugar, I thought they were going to go to that first because it was like right there. They would not even cross over it. Not one of them touched it.
Wow.
They went to the honey and some was on the fructose. So if an ant won't eat it, what is it?
Good question.
If an animal detects something as not being natural, then I think you should too. The other thing as far as the sugar, all of this artificial sugar that, Splenda, straight poison.
Yeah.
There's a video called Sweet Misery on YouTube. Look at it, please. That stuff is killing people. Now they got a new one. It's a new one. No, it's a Splenda. It's an offshoot of Splenda because there's so much negative publicity about it. Now they made another one that's sweeter than Splenda, but even more deadly. And I don't remember the name of it.
It's in the raw?
No, not sugar in the raw. No, I can't think. I think it starts with an R or P or something.
Doesn't the Splenda sugar have a molecule of bleach added to it?
You said does it?
Honestly, that's the yellow pack, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure what's in it. I mean, if you go on YouTube, it gives you the whole Sweet Misery. They tell you all the ingredients, and then you can look it up. The FDA, according to some other information I got, the FDA has gotten more. The thing that has got the most complaints of any food product, according to the FDA, is Splenda, and they refuse to take it off the market. So, and as I said, it's killing people. So when you get a chance, go look at that video. Let your children see it. But those that's doing the fast food, everybody heard about the pink slime that they're putting in the meat. Okay. Have you heard about the meat glue?
Shut up.
Okay. Meat glue that's literally what it is. It's a powder. This is on YouTube too. It's a powder, and it's so toxic that they have to wear gloves and a mask. And it's white, and they sprinkle it on, like, when the butcher's cut meat up and you still have meat pieces left.
Yeah.
Okay, so they take that, or if they cut the butt end of a piece of meat or whatever, what they can't use from their prime cuts, they don't throw it out. They take the meat glue, they sprinkle it on that, smash it together real hard, form it into like a log type of thing, and put some plastic around it, and it glues it together, and it looks like prime rib when you cut it. The scraps, yeah. And I heard they put it on fish too, because when the fish gets old, the flakes of the fish start coming apart, and they put the glue on there so it holds them together and make it look like it's fresh. So just be aware of the food industry. It's a dirty business.
Another question, one thing if you get it organic, does that mean it's a little better for you? The mixed lettuce, I mean, I don't do iceberg lettuce, but remain in the mixed green side, the spring mix.
There are some organic seals aren't worth ink that is printed on. There are maybe two of them, and I cannot think right now of which one it is, that in order to be certified by them, you're really certified organic. But the rest of them are kind of like, you know, loophole thing to get away with putting it on there. Like say for instance, there's some products that might say organic, but as long legally, in some categories, as long as it has a percentage of something organic in there, you can call it organic. So knowing your companies, trying to do your research, a real good site is naturalnews.com. They put it all out there. Naturalnews.com. They're very good. Mercola.com, MERCOLA.com.
Spell it again.
Mercola is MERCOLA. It's Dr. Mercola. He's got a website. And then sign up his newsletters. And he sends newsletters maybe a couple times a week. And once you get into his site, it's a wealth of things in there.
It's just Mercola?
Mercola. MERCOLA.com. The other one is naturalnews.com. And of course, everything's on YouTube too. Whatever you think you want to know about is going to be on YouTube.
I saw, I don't know if this was on the cola or somewhere where, on YouTube where they were showing the Remain lettuce. And it's supposed to be organic. They said it was blue, said it was like plastic on it, and he would show when he was pulling it off.
Well, with everything, I was down at the Eastern Market today. Sometimes I get my produce from different places, but I was down there, and there's this one place that I go into, or that I went into this one time, and it was the nastiest, disgusting. You know what an auto shop look like sometimes when they, you know, they just like don't clean up the. It was looking like that. So people have, and they repackage stuff too. So when they get it, they'll repackage it into smaller boxes. So you have to be aware. As I say, it's a dirty industry. When you get your stuff, wash it, sanitize it with, if you can't find a vegetable wash, you get hydrogen peroxide 35%. That will sanitize it.
What about grapeseed extract?
For your food? You could, but that's a little bit expensive to use it just for that.
Grapefruit?
There's grapefruit and there's grape seed extract. Either one is exceptional.
Okay.
And actually everybody should have it. But the most cost-effective one and multi-purpose is hydrogen peroxide, 35% food grade. You can do a lot of stuff with that and take it internally. We carry it at the store. So that's what I would suggest if you're going to use it. So just be very conscious when you're buying your food things. Now,
can't you use your pendulum for that too?
Yeah.
Check your vegetables before you take them home.
You could, but you know what it's going to be. So. Now, you know, there are some more high-end stores that their produce and things are of a higher quality. So like Trader Joe's, you know, you're going to pay for it.
Whole Foods.
Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, they're more high-end. But you can feel a little bit more comfortable than the corner grocery store. And my son brought a point up to me that was very interesting. I never thought about it. He said, Mom, you ever notice that these people that own these stores don't buy the food in these stores?
That's right.
I said, you know, I never thought about it. I do really never see them shopping in their own stores. Well, that's interesting. So I tell people, if you want, go to Dearborn or wherever, like the Jamaicans, the Africans, the East Indians, the Lebanese, or I don't know exactly what the cultures are. But in Dearborn, their stuff, I would trust that more than I would trust what's in our grocery store. And it's a shame, but it's the truth. So if you want high quality food, you're going to pay for it. Some people say it costs too much to eat healthy. Well, guess what? You're going to pay anyway. You're either going to pay on the front end, or you're going to pay on the back end, but you're going to pay anyway. So you might as well pay on the front end. Just a heads up, there's a possibility of a bionuclear attack. So make sure you get your things that ward off radiation. Rosemary, kelp, and products that are made for that. And I'm getting ready to get as much as I can at the store ahead of time, because when this jumps off, it's going to be a wave and you're not going to be able to find it.
Okay.
So if you can find it, rosemary, whether it be the tea or the extract will be more potent. Your kelp, those are two of the main ones. And I did an article called Radiation Defense. And I don't know what month it is, it was just a couple months ago. And I'll pull the article and make a copy and get it to you so you can pass it out to everybody. Because it had everything listed, I just don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
But that's a possibility that that's going to jump up in the next 2 months.
Mm.
2 months, 2.5 months. Also, I don't know if it's true, but I'm just sharing things that I've heard. I was looking on YouTube, and there's this guy that does prophecy. He said, you ain't got to believe what I say, just look at my past predictions, and you see I've got a high percentage rate. He's saying that in October, that there's going to be massive solar flares, for those that know about solar flares.
Mm-hmm.
Massive. Mm-hmm. Because we're at the high peak of solar flare activity this year. And when that happens, that's going to knock electricity out.
Mm-hmm.
For how long? He said it's not going to be permanent. He didn't know for how long.
Mm-hmm.
But just be aware. Start saving up your water, your food, your candles, all the survival stuff, which you really, honestly, should be doing anyway. The most important thing is build your temple up. Get your body strong, fast, detox. Take your herbs, your supplements, whatever you need to do to keep your body strong. Because there's some bugs and flus out here that's taking people down.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Fast. So build your temple up. Keep the colon clean. The most important thing you be doing right now is detoxification. That's critical. The way to detoxify is you start from the bottom and you work your way up. You clean the colon, then you detox the liver, then the kidney, the gallbladder. I've got some articles, there's I think the gallbladder flush in there that I wrote. I'm writing a book and I'm not quite finished, but some of those are excerpts out of it.
Okay.
It's a health handbook. And it's going to have all of this stuff in there. So you start from the bottom and you work your way up. Take the colon cleansers, eating high fiber, no dairy, no ice cream, no milk, no creamer things, a non-dairy creamer, so if you don't have to refrigerate it, what is it? So cheese, yogurt,
Butter.
Butter, if you're going to use it, butter, only real butter. Real food only has 4 or 5 ingredients in it. If it's more than that, let it sit there. Butter has maybe 3, 4 ingredients in it. Anything other than that is plastic. So, and that's contributing to people's cholesterol and all of that. So, colon cleansers, high fiber foods, which is your fruits and your vegetables, like I said before, your beans, your grains, getting as alkaline as you can. That's critical. Because if the blood is too acidic, then that's where illness sets in. You have to have, the body is created to be alkaline. Because of our lifestyles and our thoughts, the blood becomes too acidic.
Okay.
And that's the breeding ground for illness. So you want to get as alkaline as you can.
Another thing, when you get more alkaline, have a high electrolyte content in your system. Like colloidal copper, silver, gold, trace minerals, that type of stuff, because of the way the science of the body operates. If you don't have that, if you're just alkaline, it'll help. But if you don't have anything that causes that conductive connection to the cosmos and your auras and the earth, it's not going to help you too much. Don't wait and keep your shoes off as much as possible. With your shoes on, with that rubber on your feet, you keep yourself from being grounded to the earth. So if you're not connected to the earth, your electromagnetic field can't come through your body. So it keeps you depressed. You can't connect, so you can't heal.
What about the sidewalks? Isn't that still?
You're still connected to the earth. As long as you have the rubber on your feet, when you're taking herbs and drinking the water, if you don't get that electromagnetic field, so like how a spark plug is to a car, if you can't fire off because you can't connect, it's not going to do you any good.
Okay. And that's also not wearing non-natural fibers. Okay. If it's not cotton, silk, satin, wool, linen, natural fibers, if it's not that, you're wearing garbage bags. It's plastic. The body can't receive the signals from the universe like it's supposed to. So we're operating constantly at a deficit because we need to look good.
I don't know if anybody's heard of this. Is moving in the cycle closer to the sun. And as such, everything's going to change. So you need to know that a lot of things that used to be is going back to what the earlier cycle was. My understanding is that it may change places with Mars. And Mars may become, see, the cycle that it goes through is very much dependent on how the Earth rotates in its cycle and how it moves through the solar system. So that's how I understand this is changing. Secondly, what the brother mentioned about rubber. Rubber is an insulator against any electricity. If you want to short it out, you can put rubber, that's why electric cords, you put rubber around it. Right. And it won't shock you, but if you break the cord and expose the wire, you can hurt. And the four things I want you to, if you were talking about, aluminum pans, microwave ovens, foam pipes, cups, and this new thing that's been coming out now is laundry detergent, particularly Tide, with the mess that they have in it, that the FDA has approved. But a lot of times what they don't tell you is that this mess is accumulative over a period of time. It builds up in your body, and then it becomes a problem.
Like arsenic.
Yes.
Okay, the pots and the pans. Only cook in, just remember, going back to the old ways, only cook in natural stuff. Cook in whatever, cast iron, stainless steel. Some people can find copper. Those are natural substances. Glass or ceramic. Ceramic would be like corningware. Anything other than that, let it sit there. Because if you have an aluminum pot, let's say you boil some water. You notice that ring that's left around there? Yeah. That amount of toxins has already leached into your food. Over a period of time, it starts accumulating in the body, and if you don't detoxify, then those traces every single day, you're getting minute doses of these toxins and these metals. Foggy thinking, it's a big thing about Alzheimer's. Using aluminum pots, aluminum foil, eating out of aluminum cans, food with foil liners. It's convenient, but you're going to pay. Just know that. Okay, so it's pots and pans, styrofoam, like I said, stay away from anything that's not natural. Even paper plates, they've been bleached and all of that. But I'd rather see you eat off of a paper plate than styrofoam. So we have to, you have to, in order to be healthy, you're going to have to pay a price. Okay, and that price is going to be time. And it's going to cost you some money to get these things. But you can go to resale shops if you need to and find some old pots. Your grandmother, maybe an elder that's passed, they got all that kind of stuff because that's what they used.
The microwave oven and the laundry time.
Okay, the microwave ovens is, of course, that emits radiation. Also laptops, Bluetooths, some things are deadly. All of these things emit radiation in minute doses, but you're around it all day, every day. These cell phone towers, these electrical wires, you're inundated with radiation all day long. That's why cancer is going buck wild. Because it is complemented with the food. Let's not get that twisted. It's all together for a reason. Now the Tide, I'm not sure about what's going on with the Tide because I don't use it. We have something called soap nuts. And because I was wondering, I'm like, I was going down in the grocery store and I'm seeing the whole aisle of all these detergents and fabric softeners and smells good stuff. And I'm like, my God. So I'm like, well, what did they used to do before they had all this stuff? They had to clean their stuff or something. when you see people in other cultures, their white is white. And they're walking around sometimes in dirt, dusty areas, but their stuff is white. How does it stay white? What are they cleaning that stuff in? And then a friend of mine came to the store and told me about these soap nuts. And they are indigenous to the Orient. Typically, they're growing some over here in the United States. And it's a tree, and it grows these nuts. And that's what you're getting in the box. They're these nuts. And you put about 4 or 5 of them in your washing machine, in this little bag, throw it in there. You're not going to get any suds. It ain't going to be any smell good. You're not going to see anything going on. But suds does not clean anything.
Correct.
Right.
That has nothing to do with your stuff being clean at all. That's just a psychological placebo and chemical companies getting rid of some stuff. That has nothing to do with your clothes being clean and your dishes being clean. So with the soap nuts, you just throw them in there, as I said, and then after you use them a couple times, I take them and I put them in a bottle on my sink and let all the rest of those called tampons come out of it. Shake it up every couple days, and I use that to wash my hands and put in my dishwasher. And then after I'm finished with those, I throw them outside. Keep it recycled back into nature.
I was looking at some research that said the whole detergent thing has been a hoax. As long as your water is alkalinized, that's what cleans your water. So there's whatever you can do to get your water high alkaline, you don't have to see a sud at all. You don't even have to put soap in there. So if you had a system on your house like you guys got at the shop, if you can make your whole system alkaline, you can wash your clothes in just regular water.
Well, see, we've been duped.
I was spending about soap.
What is it, $10 for the big box? And the soap nuts is $10 for the big box and like $7 for the small one.
Okay, we can get them at your store then? Okay.
Does everyone have your address to your store?
It's on the newspaper, on the other side of the newspaper.
Okay.
Now, one of the things did I answer everything?
On the back of the newspaper.
Just wanted to say in addition, a lot of clothes today, I remember when you had clothes that faded, the color would wash out.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. And the reason why, because they chemicalized colors today, they call them fast colors so that they don't fade. But at the same time, when you wear those clothing, those chemicals in the clothing gets into the skin through the pores. And what happens to those clothes is what happens to you.
Listen, anybody hear what he said?
Wow. What is that?
What happens to the clothes? What's happening?
Happening to you. These colors that they have in their clothes that they my sister over in Africa found out that they make their own clothing. And the skin, the coloring that they use, after a short period of time, the color will fade out of it.
Right.
Because it's a real color and it's not permanent. The colors that they use here in this country and other Western countries are what they call fast colors.
Right.
And their purpose of it is that it stays in place. They chemicalize it.
Right.
But over a period of time, as you wear these clothing, your pores, your sweat from your pores will absorb some of this stuff. Believe me, it happens. But it accumulates over years. And after a while, it contributes to a lot of the situations that you have.
Like arsenic, huh?
Yes.
It builds up.
It builds up.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank
That's why I wanted to add, if I may, about the foam cups. When you use food ingredients in foam cups or foam plates, don't scrape the plate. Because that foam comes off. And those small chips, you may not see it, but it's in the food. And you will, if you don't, maybe one of your children or grandchildren might consume it. That stuff is not helpful at all.
The youth, listen to him. This gentleman is 82 years young, and he's going 83. So he's been where we all got to go. Okay. So,
Sister there and then.
I just had 3 quick questions. Have you heard anything about the MMS and citric acid? I know MS is called Miracle Minerals Solution. I know it's not organic, but I know if you mix it with, I saw on YouTube, mix it with citric acid, it can help heal your body. Is that really healthy for you?
If that's the product that I'm thinking about, is this the guy that lives in another
yeah, he lives in another
country?
state.
Yeah.
And they talked about, so is the MMS really good for you, even though it's not, or is it organic? Or
MMS, yeah.
I can't, I'm not knowledgeable enough to speak on it. My thing is, if the government comes down on them, Get it.
And also, I want to add to why is iceberg lettuce not healthy? I know a lot of people talk about the iceberg lettuce.
It has no nutritional value. It can be constipating for some people. Now, when you just watch, when you put salad dressing on it, and it gets limp in like 5 minutes, okay, that's got to transition through your colon.
Okay.
For some people, it can be very, very constipated.
Okay.
Anytime it's cheap and abundantly found in our neighborhoods, let it sit there. Your romaine, your spring lettuce, your anything other than that. You can put salad dressing on there and it stays firm. You can come back in an hour and it's still firm. And they're full of fiber. The head lettuce is not, it's worth nothing. I mean, just give it to your rabbit or throw it outside to it. Whatever will eat it, you know. But it's not worth anything.
I have concentration problems. I was trying to study and stuff like that. What's healthy for that? They had a doctor a long time ago prescribe me Adderall, which is basically just cocaine, the ingredients. What's something healthy that's good for concentration?
Detox. Detox first. There's and you need to put more oxygen in your system. So there's like ginkgo biloba, CoQ10, the peroxide. You take the peroxide and turn it. So, but the main thing is detoxify. When you clean your system out, you'd be surprised as to what's going to happen. People are having a lot of like issues with their joints and stuff, a lot of pain. When they detoxify, a lot of times that pain goes away. It's nothing but toxins in the first place. So that should help. And then it's just so much to remember nowadays. You know, everybody's having memory issues, so you're not alone. Okay, Terrell's next. And then
one thing about the clothing, so I used to work in a hospital for local casinos. I had to manage over all the departments dealing with anything dealing with sanitation, hospital, clothes, anything. Before you can get into that position, you have to take a course through Johnson & Johnson. I don't know if y'all ever heard of it before. Okay, when you take that course, they make you memorize the compounds and what the difference between a cleaner is and you have cleaners which they consider to be a corrosive, and then you have the enzyme cleaners, which all hospitals have, but they don't use it on regular pay. They only use it for high priced patients. They don't use it for regular. They even have colloidal silver that they don't use. That they can inject you. As a matter of fact, if you take the basic courses, they can use chlorophyll during like they can't get blood, they can infuse you with chlorophyll because it's the exact same DNA makeup as our body. It's just off of, I think ours is iron and plants is magnesium, I think it is. Right. But if you overlap it, exact same DNA print. Okay. But with the clothes, what they do is clothes detergents, everything, all cleaners that we use are corrosive. What they do is when you put it in the water, they tell you wash your clothes with what? Hot water. Hot water activates the cleaner that's in there, which turns it into a corrosive. Okay. If you go into a hospital, you'll never find hot water anywhere to clean anything. Matter of fact, they don't even allow the faucets to have a knob for hot water. When you turn it into an acid, they know that it absorbs into the skin because it causes cancer, diabetes, those types, and they know this. That's why they want you, but they don't let you use it in the hospital. That's why they send out, so they're not liable for what happens. Where you see them have all these linen companies, all these major companies, so they can't get sued because you can sue them for it, but they're not going to tell you that. So when they have it for you on TV, and people look at all the suds and the cleaners and all that stuff, what happens is when you heat it and it gets into your clothes and you put it into the dryer, you heat it and then you dry it. What happens is it breaks down the fiber, it thins the fiber out. That's why you get all that lint in your dryer. And not only does that, but it breaks down your washing machine. All of those detergents corrode the motors and things. And that's why you got to keep buying washing machines and all these new steam cleaners and all that type of stuff. It's all a gimmick to get your money. If you talk to anybody who's like an old, not none of the newer guys, but some of the elders that's been around fixing washing machines forever, they say it don't take but a teaspoon of cleaner to clean your clothes. That's right. It don't take a half a cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. You don't need all that. You barely even need it. You really only need to use a cleaner if this stuff is really, 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 really dirty. You can wash it with just plain water. Right. So, if you ever go to like any of these janitorial places, they give the classes for free. Just take the class and watch what they do. You'd be amazed how easy they can make you sick just off your cleaner.
So they discussed industrial surfactants and things of that nature. So you're saying it's actually the average person doesn't know the chemistry out of chemistry.
Right. You
They don't-
have to.
Once you ignite the chemistry out of chemistry.
You have to. That's like when you go to the hospital. Like I said, I've dealt with. I don't know anybody here that's a nurse or anything. The first thing a hospital will do is go right back to your basics. They'll give you what? What's the first thing they'll give you? Sea salt solution.
IV.
Is the first thing they'll give you is an IV, because they know 9 times out of 10 is two things the body is not. You're not absorbing nutrients, you're not getting water, and you're not getting oxygen. That's why the first thing they'll put you on is oxygen, salt, and water, because of the way it interacts with the body. Because you don't get oxygen out here. You know, I see people walking around with the oxygen mask, but if they took what's it called, cell food, which is straight liquid oxygen. Matter of fact, we used to have straight liquid oxygen. Took that off the market.
So they put you back in your mother's uterus, huh?
But they don't want you to have that. If you get sick for any reason, always go back to those 3.
Brother Hill was next, and then
I want to see what you think about allergies.
allergy. A true allergy, from what I understand, a true allergy will be enough to take you to the hospital. Everything else are sensitivities because the body's too toxic. There's people who, once they clean their system out, allergies gone. No asthma, no none of that. Once they detox. Now, after you detox,
how they clean your system out?
the colon cleansers.
You do that, you?
We do. We have products at the store for colon cleanser, detoxifying the blood. We do colonics. We do bowel cleanse. We do ear cones. So we have therapies to help to detoxify the body and products to help you detoxify. So, but that would be the first thing that I would do, is clean your system out.
Well, my system already clean because I'm like a vegetarian. I'm already being a veggie, but it's like a vegan. You know, I was gonna say, get them two different
dialect, different tribe.
But I'm like, they told me like eat condition or something, but I need, it's like something ain't right because my body sometimes it just break out at times, and my nose be running, but I don't like. I know the medication really, when I was taking medication for it, it really didn't help me. And then some other things, some other issues about medication that I got that I was going to ask you about also.
Is it a chemtrail that's possible?
That's one thing. Don't let me forget that. But whether you're vegetarian or vegan, trust me when I tell you, your system is toxic. Because back to what he was saying, there's a website called cosmeticdatabase.com. Please look at this. Cosmeticdatabase.com. And then the other link is /skin deep. That website talks about different toxins. They were talking about the gas that's found in babies from baby formula. How much gas and whatever that is that they use in the gas that is being found in infants. It goes through the Skin Deep link, shows body skincare products from lotions to creams to powders to baby products to colognes, perfumes, all that stuff you put on your hair or on your body. And it gives a breakdown of the toxicity of that product. And it breaks down each ingredient in the product with a toxicity level of each one of those ingredients. Now the rule of thumb is, if you cannot put it in you, don't put it on you. So I doubt very seriously you'd be drinking some body wash or something like that. If it's natural, you can ingest it.
That's right.
With maybe a little discomfort, depending on what it is. But if you can't put it in you, do not put it on you, because chemicals in the clothes, the stuff in the air, the stuff in the water, the stuff that's sprayed on the food that you don't even know nothing about, the stuff that's in the food that you don't know nothing about, all of those toxins are accumulating over time. The things that you're touching, those are toxins that are going in you all day, every day. So you need to detoxify regular, especially nowadays. 1 time ain't gonna do it. 2 times is not gonna do it. You need to detoxify every month, but in a different way, because you don't want the body to get used to anything. Just like working out, you keep working the same muscle, you're not gonna get a whole lot of good results from it. So you detox in a different way every month using different herbs. So you make a transition so your body doesn't get used to any one particular way. And if you do that, see what's gonna happen. There's usually rashes and things like that. Anything dealing with the sinus and sneezing. Those are because typically the body's too toxic. True allergies would be, to me, a person who truly has an allergy, like a peanut allergy, a fish allergy, you know, something gonna close you right on up, or send you to the hospital right away. Everything else is typically irritations from toxicity. Now, for those that don't know what chemtrails are what they spray day and night, that some people think are the exhaust fumes from jets. The true exhaust from jets and planes will dissipate in a short period of time. The chemtrails, not only do they last, they start to spread. They're creating a false cloud cover. This is why, and they're not telling you this is why everybody's talking about now you need vitamin D because you're not getting the amount of sun. Well, it's the same sun been out there ever since I've been alive. How am I not getting the same amount? Because it's a false cloud cover. So you are not getting the energy from the sun that you're supposed to get. And people are vitamin D deficient. And that's why the doctors now tell people you need vitamin D, giving them vitamin D shots. Because that's what really is causing it. So you do need the vitamin D. But you do need to detoxify because of all the stuff that they have, that they are spraying. Day and night. You can find that on the internet. InfoWars. What's the other one, baby? Prison Planet. YouTube. You know, they have all that stuff posted on there. Now they're spreading across the whole United States and over the world. And the other thing that I heard, this is true, but I found it very interesting that what is the brother, the elder, he fasts real regular, like 40, 60 days.
Dick Gregory?
Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory was on a Blog Talk radio show I heard the other day.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they were talking about holograms, because that's going to be the next thing.
Oh,
tricking people with the holograms.
Yeah. This one on my phone.
Oh, of the...
Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
Project Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam. They said you need, this brother said you need two main things to effectively have a holograph. One is, I think it is barium, or I think it is. It comes from nuclear plants.
Iridium?
Uranium?
Iridium.
Iridium?
I'm not sure.
Uranium?
Oh, no, I don't think it was uranium.
Plutonium?
No. That might be it. Because I seem like I remember starting with an I.
Okay.
And that comes from nuclear plants, which just happened in Japan. Okay?
The heart. Right. The heart.
So they have things on YouTube now about holograms. They did one in Africa with the Virgin Mary floating up in the air, and all these people think that it really is the Virgin Mary coming down to the planet. So just be aware that there's a lot of stuff going on out here.
It's a concert. They just put the concert. Michael Jackson was in hologram at the
Tupac Shakur.
And since Tupac
For real?
Yeah.
What concert was that? Oh, he did the concert with
Tupac
Dr.
was
J.
here.
Dr. J and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, did the hologram.
Came up like he was really on stage.
And then Orient there's a hologram concert with this lady, this cartoon woman, and people go to pay her, and it's just a hologram.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as Prison Planet, which is Alex Jones' website, I wouldn't really trust that anymore. He has a grant on YouTube concerning the Trayvon Martin case, where he's basically taking the opposite side, trying to rile up, white people, talking about do we ever get an apology for everything? And Alex Jones used to really be against different things for the government, so I don't think his website can be really trusted anymore.
Alex Jones he's one of the helpmates. He's always been one of the helpmates for the government. He's one of every 30 years they have to release him. That's why they ain't arrested and killed him yet.
Right.
Every 30 years the government has to release. That means every day. Every 30 years they have to release information about things that they did politically, galactically, things of that nature. And that's what he does. He's like
He's talking about old news?
Right, because he serves multiple purposes. He tells you information, but he also, people who are into that, let's go kill the government, he makes them come out. He's like a worm on a string to a fish. You're going to stick your head out. When you stick your head out, you're going to mark yourself. And then, so people are basically telling themselves through internet, going to rallies, that type of stuff. So you got to be real careful with a lot of those, people who are in that.
He's an American David Icke. Okay?
Yeah.
He's an American David Icke. He's the ex-DJ, sports announcer. Gets a little bit of knowledge, but he's really about the money and he's supporting that system. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
Do the
figured that
research.
much.
There's one thing I found out that he didn't put on there.
Kevin,
which
you missed
I had
that.
to say.
Kevin Trudeau, is he the same? Because I read his book and I was hoping he was.
Trudeau?
They all
Trudeau.
They beat him up a little bit.
I
so-
would say his information is accurate. The
Yeah.
book he put on what they don't want you to know.
Yeah, that was very.
In our
we talked
industry,
about Jay Coney.
he was telling the truth.
Yeah, Trudeau.
But with anything, and I don't care what it is, take what you need out of it, leave the rest alone. If it don't feel right in your spirit, leave it.
A lot of money oriented.
Because you got to feel stuff out. Your spirit will let you know if it's right or not.
So we did Coney 212 last week. Greg didn't come down from Saginaw, but we did that last week. We had it on the computer, Coney 212. The billboard is up on 9 Mile and I-75, as you're going north. We did Coney 2012, and that's some propaganda too. So
They have it in Birmingham. I went to a Dairy Queen. They have a sign on the door that says Coney 2000.
yeah, General Coney for you guys. But they don't tell you about the president who worked for the CIA. Okay, and that's when they okay. Right.
Yeah, two things. You need to make sure, well, you already know that a lot of people, and I say particularly cops, so you don't trust them because they historically will lie to you.
Oh, yeah.
Mislead you. You also have Negroes, that you call Negroes, that do the same thing. Yeah, so you got to be very careful about information that you get, and then make sure that the source is from a reliable source that you can trust. Because people, for the dollar, will mislead you and even kill you. And you know, I know in my family, I know many of you got in your family.
That's right.
We got members of our family that will sell you out for a drink of wine. So you understand that. And you just have to keep that in mind. Very careful. Secondly,
Wow,
I don't know how many of you are familiar with seedless foods. Right. You know, to be very careful that the leading company in that is Monsanto.
Okay.
And you know, you can look at foods a lot of times, particularly corn. That's, even if it's off the cob, nature does not grow kernels evenly.
Perfectly.
You don't do that. Those are manufactured for that purpose. The reason I bring it up is because the foods, the seeds that they produce to grow that kind of corn is one time living.
That's right.
And it'll kill everything around it. And then if you consume it, it will do the same to your reproductive organs. That's what it's designed to do.
So to a layman, to anybody that's not a nutritionist or just don't know much about that, not a dietitian, what's the simple rule? Don't eat
Seedless foods. Okay? So I would say be very, very careful. It may have a good taste, it look good and all that stuff. It may even be cheaper. But as you said, there's no free lunch. You're going to pay for it somewhere. And a lot of times that's usually the case. So I'm just saying you be very careful about foods that call themselves seedless. Now, that doesn't mean that all seeded foods, because a lot of these seedless foods in other countries such as India, even in France and places in Britain, Monsanto and these seedless foods have been abandoned. They won't let them.
That's right.
even in Europe, huh?
Those parts of it, because they know what it does and why it does. It's not good for the people. And here in this country here, this government, the federal government has allowed them to use this stuff, and even though they don't have to tell you on the label that it's what it is.
It's funny how they initiated historically, and then all of a sudden, after they didn't kill enough, then when you go back home, I said, you're the one that lit the fire. Well, I don't use it anymore. It's not funny, they were the initiators of it. Now all of a sudden they banned it. Interesting, isn't it? Intriguing. Actually, it's elevated global population.
I just want to add on that just one thing. When you go to these fast food places, you buy corn, you could go to California, you can go to Kentucky Fried or Church's Chicken, you can go to Japan, you can go to Maine. The corn looks exactly the same, exact same color, exact same flavor. It's genetically modified. Real corn does not grow perfect. It all ain't the exact same color every time you get it. Perfect rows, exact flavor. I don't care where you get it from. Tastes exactly the same. That is genetically modified. Also be careful with the chlorophyll. They have genetically modified alfalfa, which is what they make chlorophyll out of. The company we use, I call them, theirs is not. And it's World Organic. That's the only one that I buy. World Organic is not genetically modified alfalfa. The meats, the grains are genetically modified, which they're feeding to the animals.
That's right.
Okay? So you're getting stuff whether you realize it or not.
That's right.
Anything has sugar in it, corn syrup, fructose, whatever they call it, anything made from corn
That's right.
is genetically modified. So when you buy anything boxed and everything got sugar in it, ketchup, mustard, ketchup's genetically modified because I don't care where it's the exact same color. Get it today or next year, exact same color, exact same taste. It is not natural.
No separation.
What's the killer that's out now? They call it the super. You just said that sugar, high fructose.
High
She
fructose.
talking
Aspartame,
high fructose.
high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Another one.
Corn syrup.
Sucrose. Something like that.
High fructose.
The
High fructose.
osis, but now this is the trick now.
Okay.
Sugar has, I don't know how many sub-names
Okay.
that will be on there. And if you don't know the sub-name, you don't know that the sugar's in there.
Right.
So you have to look up that and all of the commercial sub-names for sugar. It's in there.
So they get
But they know people are getting hip, so they won't say corn syrup, but they'll call it, it'll be something else.
They're that crafty now.
So, well, you got to do your homework.
Right.
We don't want to do our homework.
Mhm.
I was going to ask about the genetically modified, so yeah.
Yeah.
So what sweetener would you recommend? You say don't use sugar, don't use sweetener.
Stevia has a bit of a twang to it. Like it's got an aftertaste to it, but it's exceptionally sweet. Raw sugars, sucanat, turbinado, palm or coconut sugar. The maple syrup, the sediment from the maple syrup, real maple syrup, real honey.
Look at it.
Real honey will get solid.
Right.
If it does not solidify, it ain't real. It has no healing properties to it whatsoever.
Right.
None.
How can the label tell? So if it doesn't.
Usually by the time you go to the store to get it, it'll already be solid. Because for the fact that it's been sitting up, it takes about a month, maybe two.
On the temperature too.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
gets warm. Like I don't mess with honey that stays. I like people like I want that honey in the. I hate that crap because it stays hard. I don't even care if you put it next to the stove and you put it. It stays solid. That's not natural.
Shouldn't it grow mother on it? It's natural too.
It's almost like beef.
After a while, is that mother like it used to, the mold? That let you know that it's real?
Okay.
Because back in the day...
Honey, that's another thing too. Honey, bacteria cannot live on honey. So they used to, like if you get a cut, a burn, wound, anything like that, you put raw honey now. Put raw honey on there. They even have honey band-aids.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah,
just FYI.
Most of the honey's coming from China now. And it's very much watered down. It has no
There's no nutritional value, right? But the price tag's still on there.
Yeah.
So,
But in what you're saying tonight, what I'm getting is, even though food is important, if a person carries an extremely high vibration, then what they eat is almost is going to be of none effect, because you can eat all the organic raw salads, but if you got acid thinking, none of that food will do you any good. So it's really best to keep a high vibration, so that if you have to eat a Vienna sausage or some Spam, if it go that direction, then as long as your vibration is high, at least you won't be too much affected.
Exactly, and thank you for sharing that too, because that's critical. The other thing, please be clear, this body don't even need food.
That's right.
We do not need food to survive. You go on the internet and look up breatharian. People live off of the ethers in the air.
That's right.
They do not consume any food, maybe water. That's not a new phenomenon. We do not need food.
That's right. It's a habit.
I am a personal matter of fact, when I was in
Oh,
the
yeah.
I am a personal testament. I heard about it, but I've never personally been through it. That is a very weird experience. I don't know what happened. I was going through some emotional stuff with my son and all this other stuff, and I didn't eat for like about a month.
You didn't tell me that part.
It was wrong. Like this. The brother Terrence, he made me eat. He told me to eat a quarter pounder and a pop because of the negative vibration, to bring my vibration rate down. It was so high to where when I ate, I felt like I wasn't wrong. I mean, I was wigging out. Like, I thought I was high. Because I had never felt like if I meditated, it was one thing. You know, after training, walking my circle, that's different. But just laying there for not eating, that was something totally different. I felt light, like I was levitating. My breath felt like light air. This guy that I ended up meeting, he won't even talk to you on the phone unless you pay him $1 million. He was on Oprah.
Wow.
Just to talk to him is $1 million. And I was a blessing I was even able to talk to the man. But very deep. When he breaks the science down to you, when he tells you to eat certain things and how you get to that point, yeah, I wasn't hungry, didn't get sick, but it does take your mind and body to a whole different, like didn't nothing exist. I just laid in bed the whole time, just like I was just floating, literally, and I was like I was. Just floating in bed, not even here. My body was there, but my consciousness wasn't here.
One more statement for the family. One thing about reptilians, you won't need any dentist. You know why, right? So, the budget, you'll have more in the budget. Because you won't excrete anything for what, 50 years? But that's great. But those are things, but like she said, it's fantastic. But I want to give up. Our time is up, Teppy. You met the word, Teppy. Our time was up at 7. And I want to, could we all give Queen, leave the tape on, give Queen Ma'at. And we'd like to present this to her, leave the tape on, our technician, from our Minister of Information, Shawnee, from our technician, from Calvin, from our co-educators, Seth Haru, from the elder, who I should have mentioned first, excuse me, elder, that's the pillar of the temple, from all of the family here, Aura, another one of our research specialists, and Dr. Rama, the tapologist, all of us who came to make this possible, because she gave us a comedic calendar when we first initiated it. She was so enthused about what we were doing, bringing the unity. We'd like to present this to you. It's called, she's probably, Hen and Chicks, the European term. The Latin term is Semper Vium, and it's perennial, like you, eternal. Okay, number 9, we won't get into that, but I want to present it to you. Can we give her on behalf
of Thank you, and we are more than welcome to come back anytime.
Yes.
Time didn't allow. This is like a 14-hour conversation, but anytime you guys, want to have me back, all you got to do is let the brother or the sister know, and it will not be a problem.
Whenever you have another window, please let us know. We can continue.
Okay.
But I don't know if she's scheduled for next Saturday. You have someone. This is our.
Who else supposed to come next Saturday?
This is our program director right here, Sean. Yeah, so okay, so maybe the Saturday after that, because she has a lot more information. Everyone has their store number, right? It's not already a client. Now we have Queen
Real.
I didn't look at your signage. Queen Real, I know it's great. She is. Go ahead.
Well, I just like to say that I have some